Breaking news coming in, and the farm crisis in Maharashtra continues, with the state government now releasing data which shows that just over 1,300 farmers committed suicide in the state in the first 6 months of this year. A staggering 497 farmers killed themselves in the month of June alone. The data shows that the worst hit region is Marathwada. I'm joined by my colleague Mandar Phanse, who has more on this story. Mandar, some of these figures are very staggering. Please take us through the details.
Indeed, they are staggering, no doubt about that, especially when it comes to the month of June alone, where 497 farmers have committed suicide in Maharashtra. That's a huge, big number, and especially in a month, in 30 days, if at all 500 farmers are committing suicide, that becomes a really a shocking thing for all of us. But more than that, we need to really ponder upon certain things. While at the backdrop of government claiming all sorts of help to the farm crisis, especially the agrarian crisis, right from MSP regime being changed to the availability of the crop loans and crop insurances and everything. But still, it seems there is something else which is bothering a lot to these farmers, and that therefore nothing is really stopping this kind of a spate of suicides across the belt of Marathwada, especially in Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, remember, Amravati district and Marathwada as a whole region is severely a drought-prone region, and especially at the backdrop of the delayed monsoon this time round, these suicide may have increased possibly to that number. 497 is the number alone in Maharashtra in the month of June. That means approaching to the Kharif season of the crops itself must have gone very, very difficult to these farmers. When it comes to sowing seasons, the sowing season itself needs a lot of input, especially the agricultural input as far as investment is concerned, and that investment must have not been reached to these farmers either by the government means, either by the banking system, or for that matter even from the earlier sales which they have done on the Rabi crops. That shows how really a bad situation is all about as far as agrarian crisis is concerned in Maharashtra. Marathwada, especially where the groundwater level is also gone alarmingly below the depths of 700 feet, and therefore it is also making the irrigation of the crops very, very difficult for these farmers. Not just that, again, the crop insurances scenario was also really very, very difficult for these farmers in Marathwada belt, especially where they are growing the horticulture crops, especially the sweet lemon crop and likewise those crops. So this is all put together, snowballing into some kind of a disaster for farmers, and that's how these farmers are really facing this kind of a distress, and this kind of number is really staggering. Compared to the last year also, this number has not gone below. That shows how this farm crisis has gone even deeper.
Right, Mandar, thank you so much for bringing us that perspective. I'm also joined by Mr. Kishore Tiwari, a farmers' rights activist, on the phone line. Mr. Tiwari, thank you so much for speaking to Mirror Now. What we can see over here are some staggering numbers which have been released by the government, where we can see that the number of farmers who have committed suicide just in the month of June alone this year is 497, and over a period of the first 6 months of the year is 1,300. We have seen the Maharashtra government, of course, making several announcements over the past few months when it comes to drought relief. Where do you think things are going wrong?
No. The issue is that the depression has not been increased. The June month was a dry spell, and the farmer were forced to go to the moneylender also. The credit outlay is very, very low. So the core issues of the agrarian crisis are not being addressed. Is it related to the credit? So the fresh credit throughout Maharashtra, the farmers are not getting the credit. Those the figures shows that the climate change has affected badly to the farmers. So around 500 farmers committed suicide in the June itself. And the figures which you are referring, it is the annual figure is around 3,000 to 4,000 farmers are committing suicide in the Maharashtra. But the farmers, more farmers are committing suicide when the credit starvation is there, where drought is there. But the core issues of the farmers regarding the input cost reduction, then profitability in the agriculture, and the credit outlay disbursement with the regulatory authorities doing the mechanism. That is not the case. Even after the loan waiver given by the state, the bankers have utilized the money for reducing their NPA, but have not disbursed the money to the farmers. So the farmers under institutional credit umbrella has decreased. So that reflects that the bankers are not acting to reduce the depression of the farmer, whereas the other government agencies are also lacking behind.
That's right, Mr. Tiwari, as you were mentioning that there are a number of issues, as you're saying, farmers are not getting credit, climate change, and the credit outlay disbursement system is also not really helping the farmers. So these issues have, of course, been, addressed to the Maharashtra government. Has any kind of effort been made lately that you feel that the government is actually trying to ensure that some of these issues or concerns are properly addressed?
No. In the last 5 years, my chief minister tried his level best. But all issues regarding the regulatory regulation over the banking institute to give the credit in agriculture activities lies with the center. Whereas giving the profitable pricing to the farmer produce, that lies with the center. Even a reduction in the input cost, that lies with the center. So there are a lot of issues which regulates the farming economy is in the hand of central government, and agricultural policies has to be revamped, and there is a need to change the policies. Unless and until you change the policy, you will see the farmers will be dying like this. And these farmer suicides are not the suicides. These are the culpable homicide done by the state.
Right, very, very disturbing figures indeed. Mr. Tiwari, thank you so much for speaking to Mirror Now.